G'day viewers, Bernard here. Today I want to talk about 460 Smith & Wesson and the Wildebeest pistol. Now, there have been a number of comments over the time that the Wildebeest has been viewed on the internet about whether it can handle a 460 Smith & Wesson. And there have been comments about the 500 as well, but I was talking about the series of, I'm very interested in the series of the 45 Long Colt to the 454 Casull and the 460 Smith & Wesson. And that's because they're simply the same dimensions in terms of the diameters, etc., and the rims, and they just increase in length and power. And I kind of like that. And the fact that they are rimmed cartridges, because currently, as I've commented to people, that the current design, I'm more comfortable in terms of risk that the rimmed rounds are easier for the extractors to grab when the barrel comes up. So anyway, I haven't obviously made a 460 Smith & Wesson Wildebeest, and the thing is, I thought I'd better have a look to see that it's possible, because I keep saying, oh yes, it will handle it, but what I mean is that the locking arrangement of the barrel and the cradle can be easily dimensioned and using the right materials to hold the pressures of that round. But I don't really know, with regard to the dynamics of the movement, whether it will, whether it's possible. But the one thing I can look at the moment is the dimensioning of it. Now, people have said, oh, when you have a large round like that, the grip will be so big. You'll have to have a very large hand to hold it. So I thought, well, look, I better have a look at this, because if it is impractical, then it's off the drawing board. So I thought, well, I'll just take it step by step. And the first thing I needed to look at was the cartridge itself. And I don't have any, but I do have a 3D printer. So I made myself some 460 Smith & Wesson cartridges, just the dimensions. So it's quite large compared to the 357 Magnum. Okay, a lot longer. I think it's 60 mil overall length, 60 millimeters. So I looked at that, I thought, yes, that's very big. So as you can see here, the overall length is 59.5 millimeters, or 2.343 inches. And the other thing is, I'm not aware of any 460 Smith & Wesson magazines. So I thought, well, I better start looking at, because that's going to determine the size of the grip, isn't it, the magazine. So I thought, well, how can I kind of reduce the width of the magazine and also enhance the kind of pointing ability of the pistol, and the and reduce the moment of flipping the pistol. And anyway, so I did that, and then I decided to, much like a Luger, for example, to stagger the rounds. So I'll just show you now a thing I did in SolidWorks. So here are the rounds that I did in SolidWorks, where I staggered them. That's 7 rounds, and that reduces the width from here to here. Then I decided, well, you know, how many rounds should the magazine hold? And I just picked 7 because I thought it's one more than 6, which is what a revolver holds. So I decided on that, and then dimensioned magazine and did a 3D print and to see what it was like. The thing about this, yeah, so yeah, anyway. And this was the final result. And you'll see that my hand, I mean, I'm 1.5 tall, and so, you know, I thought to myself, well, my hand can go wrap around that. I mean, it's a single stack, so it's not wide, but it's got 7 rounds in it. So I thought, well, yes, I'll move ahead a bit more. So then I had to decide on the barrel. So I looked at the literature on the, you know, because obviously it's a powerful round, so it's got to have a certain amount of barrel to get some effect out of it. And so I looked at the revolvers, and I noticed that I think the minimum that I noticed that, you know, was the a 3-inch barrel, which I thought that was a bit short. And then I think normally like they're 6 inches or more. I thought, well, let's have a look at 5 inches. So I thought, well, I have to, you know, as you know, the barrels for revolvers was it talked about differently to the barrels of semi-auto pistols. So a 5-inch revolver barrel is going to be something like 7 and a bit inch semi-auto barrel. So I thought, well, I'll pick that. And then I just kind of thought, well, you know, how thick are these barrels? You know, the barrel wall. And I kind of had a look at different pictures and stuff like that, and you know, I came up with a nominal barrel or wall thickness of the barrel of 3.8 millimeters. So that's going to, you know, obviously then determine the mass of that barrel, and the size, you know, the overall diameter then, and then that'll determine the size of the cradle, which will then widen the pistol up to make the frame wider. Anyway, so I got all those things, and then I went to SolidWorks, which I'll show you now. So here we have the result in SolidWorks. You can see the angle on the hand grip there, which is quite good, helps to lower the or shorten the moment arm from the recoil. I only did the main parts, not the other bits, but anyway, it looks quite good in there, doesn't it? Anyway, so then I decided to 3D print it off and have a look. And this was the final result. Right, rather large. Here's my hand, I can pull the trigger, no problems. Okay, there's the slide, but you know, it's big. That's the width currently. So, you know, I think the first iteration of this design probably shows that yes, the hand grip is not the real issue. I can make that smaller. I can thin that down because I've got the slip over grip on here still. I could bring that down, and you know, I could probably reduce that by 3 or 4 mil, etc. But to me, the problem is the overall length. So this is the first iteration. What it tells me is it's quite doable. So I don't know yet about the dynamics of it all, the masses and how they all work, but I'll do some kind of computer simulation before I go any further in trying to make one down the track. I mean, there's difficulties here in Australia of doing this, so I have to sort all that out. Anyway, now what I think overall is that I've got to bring it back 2 inches, the frame. And then I would propose to increase the barrel, or well, have the barrel sticking out 1 inch. So in other words, I'll be reducing the barrel to a 4-inch revolver equivalent, and then bringing the frame back to here. Now this is how it compares to the current Alderbeest pistol in .357 Magnum. Okay, so I think that would be, bringing that back would bring it back to this kind of length. It's obviously going to be deeper because of the diameter of the barrel, etc. Bringing everything up. But oh, and also so this is how the magazines compare. That's the .357 magazine. Okay. Yeah, so, excuse me. Now those of you who are watching who have some familiarity with 460 Smith & Wesson or those, in that size, what I would like to know, and I would like you to comment on, is how thin I can do the barrel, how thin I can do the barrel walls, and be within safety margins, obviously, because I mean, it's not urgent to know that, but that's what I'd like to know, because that will then reduce the dimensions in terms of, well, width and height, and then also with the mass, gives me more leeway with the dynamics of the moving mass. Okay, well, thank you very much.